So today we're looking at the Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K G2. Let's get started. So there's a million other reviews of this camera on YouTube, so why watch this review? Well, Stoke Light has been around for a while now, and we've had the chance to use all different types of production equipment, including the Ursa Mini Pro G2. And one of our goals is to tell you what works and what doesn't work so that you can learn from our mistakes. With that said, in this video, we're gonna go over the good and the bad of this camera. We've had it since 2019, so we feel as though we have a pretty good grasp on what it has to offer. It's been used for corporate videos, product cinematography, short films, documentaries, and overall, we absolutely love this camera. The Ursa G2 is made from a magnesium alloy and it's built like a tank. Now there's a reason why I'm saying that, which we'll cover later in this video, and you're not gonna wanna miss it. According to the Blackmagic website, it has 15 stops of dynamic range and can shoot in Blackmagic RAW up to 300 frames per second. Now there are two XLR inputs with decent preamps, so you can run audio directly into the camera without using an external recorder. The Ursa G2 comes in just under $6,000, which might sound like a lot of money, but you really are getting a lot of bang for your buck. Remember, this is a cinema camera, so you're gonna have the option to build it out any way that you want. There are multiple inputs and outputs, mounting points for various types of rigging. You can add external monitors, rails with follow focus, whatever you can dream up and stick on this camera, it's got you covered. A bonus is that you have built-in ND filters on the side here, which it makes it super convenient in run and gun situations. Quick story for you, I was working alone one day on a shoot. I was in a rush that day and short on time, which is never good and always a recipe for disaster. I had the camera up on a tripod and I thought it was locked down. Unfortunately, I didn't, and in my rush, I went to go grab the tripod and the camera went flying into the air. It came crashing down on the warehouse floor, the V-mount battery popped off, the lens shattered into a million pieces, and when I went to go pick up the Ursa G2, I thought for sure it was gonna be completely busted. Now, other than a small mark on the side of the camera, everything else worked and it was completely fine. Nothing was broken, and I sat there in complete shock. So when I say it's built like a tank, I truly mean it's built like a tank. Now to unlock the full image potential of this camera, you're gonna wanna shoot in BRAW instead of ProRes. BRAW is gonna give you the flexibility that you need in post, just like you would have the flexibility if you're shooting pictures and working in the RAW image format. So here's a little bonus for you. When you purchase this camera, it's gonna come with a studio version of DaVinci Resolve. And in my opinion, DaVinci Resolve remains the gold standard when it comes to doing color work. Working in BRAW, you're gonna be able to change the ISO, white balance, and make other adjustments without having to transcode the footage first. How do they do it? I have no idea, but I seriously praise Blackmagic for their efforts in creating such a great codec. Now I know a lot of you out there are using Avid or Premiere to cut. The good news is that Blackmagic has a BRAW plugin from their support website. The bad news is that I've seen it in action and you definitely can run into some issues. Now you can use Premiere or Avid and work with BRAW, but I wouldn't suggest it. I say consider switching over to DaVinci Resolve for all your cutting and color work. I did about 2 years ago and I definitely don't regret it. So let's talk about the bad for a second. First off, Blackmagic is notorious for their huge magenta shift, especially when shooting outside. The Generation 5 color science took care of some of the magenta shift, but definitely not all of it. Now, using an ND filter outside is gonna take care of some of that magenta, but it won't take care of all of it. The good news is that it is a quick fix in post, so for me, it's not really a huge deal. Now, while talking about the sensor, Blackmagic design cameras have had some quality control issues in the past. At least they did 5 to 6 years ago. Now, I can't really speak to present day because I haven't purchased a camera in 2022, but I did purchase their original Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K. And when I got it, I had terrible fixed pattern noise issues on the image. The good news is that Blackmagic Design acknowledged that there was a problem. They were able to RMA the camera and ship me out a new one at no extra cost. So my assumption is by this time in 2022, they've taken care of the problem. And if you order this camera, you shouldn't have the same issues I've had. Now I realize that these two things could be deal breakers for some, but to be clear, the magenta shift for me is manageable, and we haven't had any quality control issues with the Ursa Mini Pro G2. It was only with the original Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K that I had issues. So here are my final thoughts. I've said this before, we choose gear that benefits us, but in turn, it's gonna benefit the client. For $6,000, in my opinion, the image quality, the functionality, the build quality are all top notch. You're gonna be getting a rock solid cinema camera that's gonna be reliable for years and years to come. I am constantly blown away at the innovation that's coming out of Blackmagic Design, and the Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K G2 is gonna be no exception to that. This is just one of the many excellent products that they have to offer to ensure your production company has what it needs to get the job done. Do me a favor, if you liked this video, hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing. If you want to see more videos like this one, leave a comment down below on what you want us to review next. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.